Hey y'all, and welcome back to Leonard Creek Farm. I mean, losing a limb and losing your life is not worth it. We're doing a little pre-fire warm-up, ain't we, Drew? To get warm before we start these chores. You walk outside and you immediately start freezing. Moisture in your body just freezes, don't it? Super cold. I don't even know what the temperature is. Thank goodness we haven't made it into the negatives yet. We're gonna warm up real good by the fire and then get started on chores. You're wondering how us farmers are doing. How are we doing, Drew?
Half-gallon bucket froze solid.
That's it. Yep. Gonna feed these rascals. That was Coa's water. What do you think, bud? That's what he thinks. You had to lick it, ain't you? The chickens have got over that the snow's on the ground. They've been out in it. Now they're eating. I got 2 waters in here because that one froze yesterday. I busted a hole in it. So I'll give them an extra, hoping that that would last a little bit longer. I'm thinking that I might be possibly able to dump it out. So it looks like it's pushed. Looks like it'll flip out like an ice tray. So I'm gonna try. This is hard to do one-handed. Okay, well that's a negative. So that worked. It also attached that somehow. How did that even happen? Wow. What's the odds that that would have latched like that while thrown? That chunk's not going to come out. Co was thirsty, but we just gave him fresh water, so I don't know why he's in here trying to drink the rabbit's water. Okay, well that's not working. Probably had to just pour some warm water on that. There, yay. One good thing about these is they're heavy duty. They're goat proof. Anything that's goat proof, I automatically say is heavy duty. All right, we're gonna hang this back up. Get them some fresh water. I'm gonna use this fire to an advantage. I'm just gonna see if this works. This is a frozen water bowl for the rabbits. Obviously metal is not the brightest idea, but that's what I've been using. I'm just gonna sit it here and see if it melts the ice out of it. Yeah, I could go up to the house and get some warm water. Sorry guys, the smoke's, it was blowing in my face and that moved right out. Could do that, but this is cooler, so why wouldn't I do this instead? Well, to none of y'all's surprise, probably it worked. It is a little cold on the bottom, so I'm just gonna do that. Or hot, I mean, it's hot. So we're just gonna cool the outside a little bit. That was a little too much, but that was a bit dramatic. So I'll let that melt off. It's gonna melt pretty quickly, and the bowl shouldn't get too hot. Is this a waste of time? Probably be easier to just carry water. Absolutely. But, you know, gotta live life. YOLO, they say. You only live once. So I'm gonna do it anyways. All right. I need to actually get chores done. So let's go get chores done. There's a bunch of birds around here. They always come out when we're feeding so they can snatch up a quick bit of feed. They're absolutely beautiful to hear though. If you're wanting an update on these pipsqueaks, here they are. These are the grow outs. They still got a few weeks to go. They're Flemish Giant and New Zealand cross. And I was thinking maybe like they're around the 12-week mark, but we might wait a little bit longer, so, maybe a week or two, so they can get a little bit bigger. I'm not worried about them getting tough. So, anywho, there's your update. We've been keeping plenty of hay in here. As you can tell, there's a little bit of poopy in here, but I just pile it up. Kind of do like a deep litter thing for them. That way it's warm enough. Is it ideal? I don't really know. they've got plenty of ventilation in here, so I think it'll be okay. And it's not like they're laying in their poop. So I dump whatever's left in their thing, their hay box, dump it out, pile it up, and put new fresh hay in there every day. If you're wondering how we water everything, we definitely use this to water the animals in the summertime as well. But in the wintertime, instead of carrying 5-gallon buckets of warm water from the house or having to unthaw a hose, even if you can get one unthawed, we use this stock tank with a heater in it, and it keeps it good and warm, obviously, so it doesn't freeze. And then we take waters like, well, he's cut that one. We take waters like this one, just little plastic things. He carries around a 5-gallon bucket because he has to water more animals than I do. I used to have to carry 15 gallons of water a day. Sorry, we're training the dog to stay in this area. And so we got to take I take this around. It's a lot easier to carry that than them 5-gallon buckets. Like I said, I would carry over 15 gallons of water to feed the goats and everything else. So it's a lot easier. And we get to have warm water for the animals without putting too much strain on ourselves. Here's what I'm talking about. Here's their fresh hay. I poured the hay that was left over in the box on this area. They're all in the way now. You can see it. And so it looks fresh and clean. I don't have to waller in their poop or anything like that. And it creates warmth for them. Their ears are not cold. They're all warm. They cozy up in that box together, and they also eat the hay along with getting quite a bit of grain filled up every single day. So there they are. Along with that, I will fill their water up, and that bowl that I thawed out, just so happened to forget it. I have my hands full, and so I'll fill their water up. But let's fill the chickens up first, since their water bowl's out here. Oh, it's hard to do. It's hard to film this when it's cold because you got to take your phone. I don't even put it on the tripod because you got to put your phone up every few minutes or it will freeze and shut off. And so I'm going to give them some water here, fill it up, and I'll probably have to crack it before we go back in. Why did I just pour all that water in there? I don't know why I did that. That was for the rabbit, so I'm going to have to go fill this back up. And I just sat there and poured it and just let it drain. Anyways, there they are drinking out of it. And there's Coco. There's the rabbit's fresh water. If you're wondering how cold it is, I carried this water over in the area to give them water. And I don't know if you can tell or not, but there's ice floating in it. And the water on the outside is turning to ice before our eyes. That's how cold it is today. So I will have to break these waters a couple times to make sure that everybody is getting fresh water throughout the day. Dropped a little water on that rabbit and it is froze to his head. So that's how cold it is. I've done a little bit of my chores. You all seen it. I'm going to go up and warm up by the fire and then I'll come back down and finish up. I'm getting awfully cold. My fingers and toes are getting numb and I'm dressed fairly warm. Before I go up to warm by the fire, I'm going to check our eggs because we still are getting eggs, or have been. I'm going to see if I've got any eggs. If I do, I need to probably take them up to the house or they will freeze if they haven't froze already. And so I'm going to do that and then I'll head up to get warm. I said that my fingers were getting numb, but what I meant to say is they're hurting pretty bad because they're cold. They're not numb yet, but even while I'm holding this, I just took my hand out of my glove for just a few seconds and they're getting pretty cold. So after this, hopefully I can go up to the fire and get warm. We did get 4 good eggs, but we did have a casualty here. It's pretty amazing that we can have chickens that lay all winter long. Like this, we do not do any extra light or anything like that. I don't do anything to keep them warm. And they're still giving me eggs. So that's pretty great. I've made it up to the fire. Guys, I want to let you all know in a very serious note that it is essential that you stay warm and try to stay as dry as possible when you're doing stuff like this. Farming is a 360 every single day kind of task or job, and we had to do things in brisk cold weather, and I thank God that I don't have as many animals as I used to have, or as many animals as some people have. And there's people, you know, that's got animals dying from freezing temps right now, and we're not in the negatives like a lot of people are. It's coming, but we're not there yet. But we need to, one, appreciate our farmers, but our farmers, be sure that you're taking the amount of breaks that you need to take. If you need to hop in the truck or hop in the tractor or hop in the car to take a break, if you need to build a fire like we're doing to stay warm, then do that. Because, I mean, losing a limb and losing your life is not worth it. And I don't think people realize how serious it is at times. And so this is a major way that we keep warm when we are in freezing temps, is by starting a fire. We could run up to the house, but we can do this as well, and it helps to keep you warm, and to keep them fingers feeling like, and toes to feel like they're not going to freeze off. I've got my glove off, and so my fingers and toes feel like they're going to freeze off. Definitely my fingers, so I'm going to put the phone up and stand here and warm up, and then I've got just a few more chores I need to finish, and then I'm heading to the old hoof scale. Alright guys, we finished up the chores. We got everybody's food and water. Everybody's staying warm. Everybody looks good. We filled everybody's hay up, filled their waters up. I wanted to show you all though. This is how cold it is. I just filled these waters. Let me see if I can get a little closer. Can you see where the ice sickles are? That's where I just poured the water in, and the water is already starting, I don't know if you can tell. Water's already starting to freeze up, so that's crazy. It's the same on all of them. So we'll have to come down here and check the waters before we go. But I appreciate y'all watching. I appreciate you all hanging out. Hopefully y'all are staying warm in these super cold temps. I even know down south's even getting cold for them. And so I know that a lot of people are struggling with the farm chores, trying to stay warm. I'm going to head to the house before my toes break off. They feel like they could break off any second. So I'm going to head to the house. But I appreciate y'all watching, and hopefully we can see you on the next one. God bless. Stay warm. Bye.